It is Tuesday evening. We were supposed to have a guest. She couldn't make it. She got hurt. So I just said, you know what? Let's throw this thing on live and just let me rant a little bit. And if there's any questions, love to answer them, love to address them. I would love to talk about the subject of the about how important it is to tie in and how naturally your mind and your body are really one. Meaning, if you don't feel good about your body, if you don't feel good about your appearance, if you don't feel good about how you look, it's absolutely going to affect things that you do, things that you don't do, your outlook on life, which maps to what? It maps to your self-image, right? So the better that you feel about yourself physically, the more chances you have to have a stronger self-image internally. And they absolutely work hand in hand. They work together. I'm a big proponent on that. You're going to hear me talk about that much, much more. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm coming out with a line of supplements, because I know how important the mind and the body connection is. And when you don't have that and you don't feel good about yourself, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect the people around you. It's going to affect your work life, your business life, your personal life. It's just the way it is. And then if you want to take it a step further, the other big part of why I'm rolling out this nutritional line is to teach people that you can literally turn the clock back. And the way you do that is your overall lifestyle. And let's get something real clear, right? Supplements. There's a huge need for them if they're the right supplement for your goal. But make no mistake, supplement is exactly that. It supplements your lifestyle. So a natural supplement is not the end all, but it just enhances. And think about this in a circle. It just closes the circle in whatever your lifestyle is. So the cleaner your lifestyle, the better your supplements are going to work, and vice versa. And that's what I want to teach people, how to turn that clock back, right? How to get that clarity back, that vibrance back, that energy back, that libido back. Everything that goes under that umbrella of turning the clock back, that's what I want to teach people to do. You never hear me say this except under this context. We want to go against nature. This time, physically, we want to go against nature, because if you let nature take its course, even with a healthy lifestyle, our hormones start to go in reverse. That's just the way it is. But you can start to actually change that. And we're starting with men. The first supplement's going to be a natural testosterone enhancer. So what happens is, as men, as we age, we go through the change just like women, but at a much slower rate, right? It takes longer. So depending on your genetics and your lifestyle, into our late 20s, early 30s, our testosterone goes down, our estrogen goes up, and it only gets worse unless you do something about it. And women, the second product we're going to roll out is for women. That's going to be a little bit down the road, but overall, I want to teach people how, really what it boils down to is quality of life, right? What is your definition of quality of life? Is it at 40 years old, at 35 years old, at 55 years old, to get out of bed, feel achy, feel beat up, not want to take that day on and lose that day that you can never get back? Or do you want to start to change that definition of quality of life and jump out of bed, feel good, feel vibrant, feel strong, feel empowered, right? Because remember, when you feel empowered outside, it just means you feel empowered inside. You're not going to feel empowered outside and not truly feel empowered inside. It's just the way it is. For me, it's sharing information and knowledge and wisdom on how to turn that clock back. I'll be 51 in September, right? I don't want my blood work to come back as a 51-year-old guy. My blood work is going to come back. It comes back as a 35-year-old guy. That's when you know you're winning, right? That's when you know you're winning. And everyone can do that if they just understand how it all works and how to start to turn that around. If anybody has any questions or comments or anything like that, throw it out there. Big G, what's up? Gloria, glad you jumped on. Marion, just shared your video. Let them know you appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing it, Marion. Anybody else gets any value out of this, definitely share it. Yeah, I know you agree, Gloria. And that's going to be a huge message for me right now, starting a few weeks ago, along with the fear barriers, along with understanding how and learning how to get your lunch money back from those bullies. But I think without me speaking about and showing people and providing resources and outlets to physically feel better, to physically turn the clock back, I think I'm doing a disservice. I know I'm doing a disservice, and that's missing a big void, right, in who we are. And it doesn't understand, just like financial, just like business, just like personal relationships, it doesn't matter where you are now, right? It doesn't matter where you're starting. Do it. Start putting things in place. Start to map that out to move forward, you know, to hit your physical goals. And we're going to be doing a 90-day challenge with the product. And we already have a bunch of people jumping on this. And you're going to see these transformations because they're going to have their nutrition dialed in. They're going to have their workouts dialed in for their goal. And now they're going to have the supplements dialed in. So they're going to hit all three pathways, right? But the most important pathway that I'm going to bring to the table is the mindset. And let's identify your why. And I'm going to put it out there to a lot of people. A lot of people that are out of shape and on prescription drugs to keep this in check, keep that in check, and they have all these side effects, and they have a family. You might want to think about having your family as your why, right? Maybe they want you around a little bit longer. Maybe they want you to have a better quality of life while you are here. I don't know. That's just a guess on my part, but it's probably a pretty good guess. I think it all comes down to quality of life and what's your definition of quality of life. I'd love to hear some of that. What's your definition of quality of life? Gloria, I've been curious about the testosterone actually because when I was training with Carla, she suggested to me but at the time, my ignorance, you know what, Carla's absolutely right. See, here's the deal. We're marketing this and promoting this towards men. And we're going to be rolling out a woman's product. But at the end of the day, Carla's absolutely right. First of all, women have testosterone like men, but at a smaller percentage. But women deplete their testosterone when they train hard. So a supplement like this for women that train on a consistent basis and live a healthy lifestyle, this supplement is actually really good for them. It helps with the free testosterone. It helps replenish the reserves. And again, what happens, it turns that clock back. Energy, clarity, vitality, libido, all that. Here's the one thing I want to talk about, libido enhancement, or I should say libido overall. When I had my sports nutrition store, a lot of guys would come in, right? And they'd say, I'm good, I'm fine, I handle my business in the bedroom. That's good. But what they don't understand is libido is one of the last things to go. So if your libido is gone or it's really depleted, you're really in a hole. And you know, society's going to have us believe that when we walk down the beach and we see a 40-year-old guy that looks like he needs a bra more than his girlfriend or his wife, we think that that's normal. And it's really not. It might be normal for somebody that doesn't care. It might be normal for somebody that doesn't want or understand or can identify or define a quality of life. But once you start to get educated that you can actually turn this around, that becomes a non-negotiable. That becomes something that doesn't even, it's not an option, right, to feel that way. One of the other things that you're going to hear me preach from the mountaintops, and not only am I going to preach this from the mountaintops, but I got to get much better at this and much more consistent at this. And this has to be one of my major non-negotiables is stretching. When you stretch, you want to talk about feeling better from the inside out. Take a yoga class and tell me how you feel after that. Or just do some stretching at home in the morning or before you go to bed. I love to do it before I go to bed because it relaxes me. It makes me just feel so relaxed and centered. But when you stretch, it literally turns the clock back. So stretching is a huge, huge thing. But Gloria, you're absolutely right. Again, it's all about turning that clock back. It's all about knowing where your hormones are and what's going on inside. And one of the first things I tell people, take the guesswork out and get your blood work done. Find out where you are. You know, I get my blood work done quarterly. I know where my liver enzymes are. I know where my numbers are. I know where my estrogen is. I know where my testosterone is. I know where I got to tweak things. So, again, your hormones are from the inside. That's what either ages us or we feel young. I mean, it's just one or the other. Cindy, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm looking forward to getting down to the desert tomorrow. We're going to do a press release and a press conference for the event that I'll be speaking at in Brawley. So I think we're going to be live streaming that as well. So don't miss it. We're going to be down there at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for at the Brawley Chamber of Commerce. So we're pumped. We're excited. We are going to live stream it, and we're going to bring some heat. Cindy, we're going to teach them that fearless is bullshit. And that's what it's about. They have the press conference all set up, so I'm not sure. I'm just going to show up and do what they tell me to do. So, but it should be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a blast, and the event, if you guys can make it, it's gonna be off the chain, and it's going to be awesome for us because Monster Motivator TV will be in Vegas the weekend before that weekend with Brandon Lee. So that's going to be epic. So we're going to take that whole weekend is just going to be Friday, Saturday, and then Monday night is the event. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. So if you guys can get down there, for sure, come on down. But yeah, you guys are going to hear me talk about this much, much more. And I'm excited because, you know, when we start talking about the physical part, just like the mindset, I'm in my world, man. This is my world. I've been around supplements, taking supplements, understanding supplements for a long time, and we had a really successful sports nutrition store from 2008 to 2012 in the worst economy that we know. And when I bought that store, within a year and a half, we were tripling the numbers. And it's not because I'm some special guy. It's not anything to do with that. It's I love it. It's a huge passion of mine. And people felt that. They felt the connection, and we became the go-to in the neighborhood. We got a lot of cool things coming up for Monster Motivator TV and MM Nutrition for sure. And the hats are being they're in process right now. We have one hat that's Roar Zone, and we have another hat that's going to have MM Nutrition logo. It's going to be on the side. It's going to be awesome. And then we're going to be working on the shirts as well. So we got a lot going on in the next few weeks. I'm pumped. But yeah, make no mistake. Your mind and your body are one. See, and understand why that is scientifically. When you understand what the mind is, it's not your brain, right? Your mind is omnipresent. It's in every cell of your body. And the mind is broken down into 3 sections. Think about drawing a circle and drawing a line through the center of that circle. That's your mind. Then think about underneath that circle, a stick body. That's your body. You got this circle, and you got a moon, and you got a line in the center of that moon. On the top of the line is conscious. On the bottom of the line is subconscious, and then you have the body. So think about how the mind works. Conscious, subconscious, body create your results. Let me break that down. Here's where the power of your conscious part of your mind comes in. This is really important. You can accept or reject anything. So if I say to you, you got to meet this girl, Gloria. She's honest. She's trustworthy. She does what she says she's going to do when she says she's going to do it. You can accept that or you can reject that in the conscious part of your mind. And just like if I speak not real nice about you, right? Gloria is not a good person. Don't trust Gloria. I don't like Gloria. Gloria's not a good person. You can accept or reject that in the conscious part of your mind. So when you can wrap your your mind around that and understand that you have that control. So when you accept that, so when I say you accept or reject any label that somebody decides to put on you, you can accept it or reject it. I'm talking about that part of your mind. Here's the punchline. Once you accept it, once the conscious part of your mind accepts that, now it trickles down into your subconscious mind, right? Now, your subconscious mind is omnipresent. Your heart can pump blood and tell your left hand and your right hand to touch each other while your heart's still pumping blood, while oxygen's still going in your body, while you're still living. That's all because of your subconscious mind, right? It's the most powerful thing we have. But here's what it can't do. It can't reject whatever your conscious part of your mind accepts. So, if you accept that you're a good person, if you accept that your word is gold, if you accept that everybody that you come in contact with loves you, now what happens? Your subconscious has to accept that. Now, that becomes your conditioning. Just like the flip side of that. If you decide to accept that you're not a good person, that you're not trustworthy, that you don't do what you say when you say you're going to do it. And once you accept that in the conscious part of your mind, your subconscious has to accept it. Now that becomes your conditioning, which becomes your identity. Now what happens is your body walks it out in action. That's why thoughts, feelings, action create your results. Think about this. Your thoughts, conscious part of your mind. Your feelings, your subconscious part of your mind. Action, your body create your results every single time. Yeah, it's biblical. There's no question. Listen, you hear me say this all the time. It's not only biblical, it's beyond that. It goes back to antiquity. Listen, whatever you believe religiously, and whatever works for you, works for you. But this goes back to antiquity. This goes back to the beginning of time. I say this all the time. Anybody in the personal development world tells you they invented something new, run. Don't look back. They're full of shit. This all goes back to antiquity. This just happened to be shared. And then shared again. And then shared again. And then you take what works and you throw out the rest. And then you share in your own flavor. That's all this is. That's it. Nobody created anything. This has already been created, and it goes back to the beginning of time, 100%. But a lot of people don't truly understand how the mind works. They think it's the brain, right? If it was the brain, here's how I can prove to you it's not the brain. They have Einstein's brain. I think it's in Rutgers University in New Jersey, and it's a mass of gray matter, right? That's the brain. The brain is no good unless it's tied into everything else. But your mind is omnipresent. Your mind is in every single cell of your body. And when you can break down how the mind works, conscious, subconscious, and then the body, now you know that everything you do in life, whether it's personal, professional, physical, spiritual, all starts with your thought. It goes to your feelings. It goes to the action, which create your results every single time. You can't get away from that. That's Life 101. And I'm so passionate about this. This is Life 101, and it's a tragedy that's not taught in school from day one. And it's not a priority in school. Number two, when you can truly understand how the mind works, conscious, subconscious, and your body, and your subconscious can't reject what your conscious mind tells you to accepts, and it becomes your conditioning, it becomes who you are, it becomes your identity. Why do you think it's so important? And why do you think the greatest gift that any adult can give a child is a powerful, positive, bulletproof self-image? How do you do that? You feed the machine. You tell that child and you reinforce positive affirmations, positive quotes, positive energy towards that child. What happens is their conscious mind isn't developed enough to accept or reject. So whatever you tell them, they accept for a certain window of time in their life. That creates their conditioning, right? Then they act it out, and that creates the results. That's why you see so many adults all jacked up, right? But they're blaming because they had a bad parent, or this or that, or alcohol or drugs, or whatever it was, right? A whole laundry list of excuses. That's the way it works. But here's the caveat to that. When you become an adult, or you become old enough to understand and start to make your own decisions, whether that's, I don't know, 10 years old, 12 years old, I don't know, whenever that is for you, life says we don't give a shit. We don't care about your past. What are you going to do today? So that's why, even though you understand how it works and that your conditioning might have been toxic, it's up to you, this is your journey, to figure out how to turn that around. That's why life says we don't give a shit. We don't care. We care about what you're going to do today. And that's why it's so important to understand how your mind really works. And I just think a lot of people truly don't. They've never taken the time to really break it down. And for me, it's just been so intriguing because the mind is everything. Everything follows the mind. I love it. I love it. I could talk about it and learn about it all day long. Up to 6 years old, whatever stats or scientific proof they have, but it sounds right. Up to 6 years old, your conscious mind is wide open, taken in like a sponge. One of the things you have to remember is you can't change the past, so there's no sense in wishing that, and you weren't ready for it, or you would have heard it. You would have heard it somewhere along the line. Two things. You always got to own it, because that's the real. And secondly, you weren't ready to hear it and accept it and run with it. That's why you can read a book today and pick that book up 2 days later, a week later, a month later, a year later, and get more out of it because you're raising your level of awareness, right? As you raise your level of awareness, more things become more aware to you, and they make more sense. I can read As a Man Thinketh every single day for the next 10 months, a year, I don't care, a month, and I'll still get something new out of it or a different perspective, right? Because why is that? It's not because they put more information in the book. It's because I raised my level of awareness to accept that, take it in, right? And even be open enough to look at a different perspective. And you're right, that's just fact. That is fact. So when you look back, instead of saying, hey, I wish somebody would have said that, they might have. We don't know. But you just weren't at the point to accept it. You didn't have that level of awareness. I'm talking from the real. I'm talking from me. You know, people ask me, why are you so passionate about personal development? How did you get into personal development? You don't even look like a guy that would be in personal development. And they're right on every one of those. But here's what happened. When I went through marriage counseling years and years ago, the counselor was a very spiritual lady, and she's the one that introduced me to the mind and the universe and the laws of the universe. And I got so intrigued that I just couldn't learn enough. I couldn't take enough in. But my point is, personal development and building my own level of awareness, which in turn builds my own self-image, allowed me to become the person that after 17 years of being married and together with my wife, that we were able to separate and divorce, split everything down the middle, the real estate, the business, without an attorney. And you know how we were able to do that? Because she's such a good person. She's a hell of a woman. And I became that person that I wasn't years ago. See, years ago, I would have never been able to do that. It would have been a battle. It would have been ugly, and it would have been poor me. I would have been a victim. I would have been this and that. I would have had excuses out the yin-yang. But I became that person over years of personal development that allowed me to have a level of awareness that said, you know what? I got to own this. I had a big part in this. And it also gave me a level of awareness to know that she had a big part in this, right? And we grew apart, and we weren't able to catch it before we grew so apart that there was no coming back. But what we were able to do, and we still do today, is we're so close. I can call her up right now and say, hey, Michelle, I need this, and vice versa, and we're there for each other. So that's why personal development is so important to me, and I have such a passion for it, because it literally not only changed my life, but it saved my life on certain levels. It saved my life, and there's no question about it. And we're going to take this full circle. I didn't realize this. It created a quality of life that I would have never been able to find. And here's the greatest thing about it. It just keeps getting better. As you keep immersing yourself into personal development and figuring out what works for you and throw out the rest, or just put the rest to the side. Maybe you're going to use more of that down the road as your level of awareness grows. Who knows? But as you stay in it, it just enhances your life on so many levels. And I think subconsciously too, if I'm going to keep it real, when I look back over the years that I get introduced to personal development and I start to really, really sink my teeth into it, I don't know, over the last 18 years or so, when I didn't have personal development in my life on a steady basis, my results showed personally and professionally. And so I think subconsciously, I know that it's the best thing for me to be in this full time. And why not build a business and make a living out of it as well at the same time? So, yeah, if you want the real, that's the real, man. That's the real. And that's the shit I want to share. That's what I want to get across to people. Personal development is life 101. And if anybody has any questions, comments, throw it out there, because I love this shit. I love it. And you know what? There's always things for me to learn. I'm going to learn from people. Here's the other thing, and I hear this a lot, especially now on social media, because I'm out there so much. I'll get people that are instant message me, reach out to me, or even people that have been on the show or that I'm around. They'll say, God, I love being around you because I just feel energized. I feel your energy. You have a zest for life. You're the Monster Motivator, bah, right? But what they have to understand, it's a win-win. See, when I feel that way, and you feel that from me, I feel like I'm winning. That's why I love this show so much. When I listen to these stories and I hear these Rocky stories and I pull out those gold nuggets, that's feeding me. Just like it's feeding you. It's always a win-win when your intention is pure. That's why you never have to worry about what other people think if you don't want to. You always go back to intention. And at the end of the day, we're human. We're going to judge. Your only job is to make them accurate. That's your only job. And when you can wrap your mind around that, you're fucking bulletproof. Your only job is to make them accurate. I'm going to make a t-shirt out of that. I like that. But it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. How do you choose the people you interview? Be honest with you, what's going on now? Check this out. That's a great question. So let me go back. So we started this show in March of 2016. And I remember I was talking to Kate, my marketing manager, she does it all. And we were talking about doing a podcast, and I didn't want to, the podcast for me didn't have enough juice in it, because I like to be live and in color. This is my oxygen. And she's like, yeah, we could do that, but how are you going to get people? I go, don't worry about it. I'll recruit people. I'll get people. I'll get them on. And that's what I started to do. Here's what happened, though, Shamika. Here's why I know this is such a right direction for me. Is we started in March, and by October of that year, we were only booking 20% of our shows. And check this out, we were doing a show a day. We had no structure. If my calendar was open, book it and I'll get there. But check this out. By October 2016, we were only booking about 20% of our shows. People that were on the shows prior were booking people for us. And that's when we step back and we look and we go, man, this is becoming electric, right? It's real, raw, and live, and people are connecting to it, even though they're scared to death to come on. After it's such a growth, it's unbelievable. And then coming into 2017, we wanted to say, okay, we want to make this an actual show. We want to bring sponsors on. How do we do that? We need structure. So then we went Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's where we're at today. But we're booked almost through August already on the show. So for me, Shamika, it's really about anybody can come on this show. You know why? Because everyone's got that Rocky story. And I'm going to pull those gold nuggets out. And as long as you're willing to share your story, wear those scars with pride, and let me pull those gold nuggets out, you're more than welcome to come on this show and share your story. And here's the other thing, Shamika. A lot of people are afraid and they're running from their story. And you hear me say this all the time, wear those fucking scars with pride. And here's why. You were bad enough to make it through, so now it's your obligation to give back. Because you don't know who you're going to touch. That little girl that's trying to figure out if she can do it, and then she hears your story because you did do it, might save her life, might change her life, might move her life in a different direction. That's why your story, your past, is so important to share. And here's what happens. Once you start to do that, now that builds your self-image, right? You start to own that story. Left back in the second grade, diagnosed with ADD, said I had a learning disorder, never graduated high school. At 19, I'm sitting in a jail cell looking at 8 to 10 if things don't go my way. So to say that I had a rough paper route, I'm just giving you the overview. If I decide to get really deep, listen, man, I did a lot of crazy shit and a lot of stuff that I'm not going to say I'm proud of, but it's who I was and it's who I am. But my point is, when you can embrace that story, when you can embrace who you are, where you've been, where you're at today, and where you see yourself going, you won. You won. You become bulletproof. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks or says, you won. And everyone deserves to feel that way. So I'm just, So to answer your question, Shamika, that's how we get the guest. I mean, that's, for me, honestly, I don't think there's anybody that can't come on this show if they're willing to let me take you guys behind that black curtain, if they're willing to let me pull those gold nuggets out, because everyone has them. Everyone has them. Even we've had little kids on here that are entrepreneurs that have badass stories. So everyone's going to learn something from somebody's story. And I get so emotionally involved in the story that the golden nuggets just jump right out. And here's what happens, Shamika. We have zero structure in this show, right? I can't be in a lane. It doesn't work for me. So I'm not going to sit here with a pad of paper, an iPad, and go over these questions. I don't even know what I'm going to ask you until it comes after we do the intro. And even the intro, I'm rolling with it because I want to always bring it from here. I always want to bring it from here, whether I'm speaking on stage, on platform, in a live event, or I'm live here, or in an interview. Everything's just coming from here. When I get interviewed on podcast, some of these people that get, they're so uptight that they want to have all this structure. And that's good. If that works for them, keep your structure. But I don't have questions I'm going to send you. I said nothing's off the table. You know my background. Look at my websites. Look at my bio. Look at my social media. I'm an open book. So if you do your homework and you put together those questions, nothing on that piece of paper is off the table. That's just the way I roll. And what makes you tear up, Shamika? What I'm curious now. What makes you tear up? You got to share that with us. And at the same time, I'm glad it's hitting you. And that's what I mean. Here's what I especially when I do keynotes. If certain words offend you, I tell people that I'm not your guy. You probably want to roll right now. But if you could look past that, here's my only objective when I speak at keynotes or workshops or even on here. My sole objective is that you're going to leave here saying, he's fucking real. He's real. You might say, I hate this guy. I never want to see him again. I never want to hear him again. I love this guy. Where's he going to be next? Where can I get more of his information? Either way, that's going to be your decision. But here's what I promise you. You're going to leave here going, man, he gave it to us fucking real. He's real. So when things that you don't agree with, or better yet, things that I say that offend you, or even better yet, things that I say that doesn't sit right with you. Here's what I do promise. When you're by yourself and the lights are out and it's dark and it's quiet, you're going to say, well, that was fucking real. And you don't even have to agree, but you're going to say that was real. Just listening to talk about the story. Yeah, you know, it's the real, Shamika. It's and we all have them, right? We all have our stories. We all have our scars. But the ones that are willing to wear them with pride are the ones that are going to have the best fucking journey. And make no mistake, we all have a journey. Who knows how long this journey is going to be? Why would you ever let anybody take the driver's seat in your journey? If there's a message I can get to kids, it's that. Don't ever allow anybody to put a label on you that you don't accept and that you don't put on yourself. Remember, it goes back to the conscious, subconscious, and the body part of your mind. Not much offends me. Good. That's great. That means you're probably a worldly person. You've been around, and that's a good thing. And here's the kicker to this, Shamika. If somebody says something to offend you, but their intention is pure to help and give back, then that's on you. But if somebody says something to offend you and their intention isn't pure, then you got a right to be offended. But I always say, I live with intention. So when my intention is pure and I use a word or a sentence that offends you, you got to figure that out. I'm good, man. I can put my head on that pillow. And when you can get to that point in life, you become bulletproof. You really become bulletproof. So yeah, man, there's some great subjects on here that I get pretty passionate about. George, thanks for jumping on, big man. Tracy, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me since we've been connected. And you know when you meet those people, it's unwritten. You just connect instantly. That's how me and Tracy were from Jump Street. Just connected instantly. So we're going to be hanging out in Vegas at the end of the month. Brad Lee's interview. I can't wait. We're going to have a blast. We've all been on this earth long enough, and then you get those people that you just meet and you can't stand them and you can't click and you don't want anything to do with them. That's just that's just the universe speaking to you. But yeah, Tracy's awesome, man. Love that girl, and we just connected from day one. But yeah, Shamika, if not much offends you, you won, girl. You're winning in life. That's an awesome statement because a lot of people can't make that statement. But yeah, always go back to the intention. If their intention's pure and you're still offended, you got to figure that out. But right back at you, girl. Right back at you. So yeah, if I think, Shamika, I think there has only been a few times where I rolled out of a presentation. Not any of yours. There you go. Hey, thanks so much. But listen, at the end of the day, I always say this. If I'm everyone's cup of tea, I'm switching to coffee. Because if I'm keeping it real, there are going to be people that get offended. And that's okay. That's all right. And there's also going to be people that just don't connect with my message. And that's okay too. That works. That's life. That's real. But, you know, again, I think you got to ask yourself in those presentations, if you felt like that person was being pure and they weren't being fake and they still offended you, that's where I think where you need to dig deep and figure out why that is. Where in that conditioning, whether it happened as a little girl or it happened last year, where is that disconnect, right? As long as that person's pure, you got to figure out why that disconnect is. And again, look, if the person isn't pure and the intention isn't pure, that's a whole other person we're talking about. That's on them. But yeah, that's how you beat the fear of what other people think all day long. Just roll with intention. So yeah, I'm excited. This tomorrow is going to be the press conference for the Brawley event, which I'll be keynoting. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It should be a lot of fun. And yeah, anybody else has any questions, any comments, throw it out there. I don't even know what time it is. It's 20 after 7. Anybody? Throw it out there. Comments, questions, anything. Show the love. Show the love. Shamika, are you in New York? Or if you're still on, let me know if you're in New York. I was just back. I'm from Jersey and Philly. So I was just back in month and a half ago. Jersey, Philly, New York, and Delaware. I did all 4 states in less than a week. It was wild. It was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun seeing some of the old crew. But yeah, if you're in New York, let me know next time I'm on the East Coast. Let's connect and let's get you on the show. Let's share those. Let's get them behind that black curtain. But yeah, guys, you know, we're at New York. We're at. Are you in what borough? Are you in the city, or are you upstate New York? Tracy, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. And thank you for the shares, guys. Appreciate that as well. Oh, if you guys get a chance, check out the interview I did with Manny. Manny interviewed me yesterday. It was really, I mean, it was electric. He asked some awesome questions, and we were able to go really deep. So check that. I think we have it up on our YouTube channel as well. Anybody, if you get value out of this, go on our YouTube channel and subscribe. We're uploading video every day. Upstate New York, awesome, awesome. That's my marketing manager, Caitlin, lives up in upstate New York. I was just up there when I was back east, so I'll keep you posted, and you'll know when I travel. I keep people posted on my. I'll be in Vegas at the end of the month, but yeah, I'll keep you posted. We'll connect, and we'll get you on the show. Joe West, what's up, big man? Big Joe's gonna be doing the 90-day challenge. I can't wait to see how this guy just progresses. He's a beast, man, and he's all in. All in, man. He's one of the OGs of Roar Nation, man. I love that guy. We'd love to be on your show. Love it. Would love to have you on the show for sure. And we're gonna share those golden nuggets. Absolutely, 100%. I'm not even sure, how did we hook up? Was it just through social media, or were you at an event? Were we in an event together? But Joe, say hello, man. If you're on, Joe, say hello to say hello to the crowd. And Joe, if you're on, I know that you got awesome questions, man. You always got stuff to throw at me. So if you are on, would love to hear some of those questions you have, man. So we're talking about the mind and the body and how it's connected, and how if you don't feel good about your body, you're not going to feel good about yourself. And your body directly connects to your self-image. So the better you feel about yourself physically, the easier it is to feel good about yourself inside. And that's just fact. That's just real. And that's my message that's going to be tied in with the mindset. That's going to be tied in with the fear barriers. It's the body. And turning that clock back. And what's your definition of quality of life? And that's what I want to get clear. I want people to get clear on. Abigail, thanks so much for jumping on. Yes, facts. Truth. Shamika, I saw you on CJ Ripka's show. Oh, that's awesome. That's how me and Tiffany T connected. I connected with a few people on Ripka's show. I'm going to get back on there once we roll out the supplements. It's all about the universe, The Secret. Yeah. What'd you think of that, Big Joe? So I turned Joe onto The Secret, him and his wife, for the first time over the weekend. So give us an aha moment you got out of that, man, if you watched the whole thing. Abigail, thank you so much for jumping on. Questions, comments, throw them out there. Question, how many times have you watched The Secret? I can't even count, man. I don't know, from beginning to end, if I had to guess, maybe 15, 20 times. Bits and pieces, dude, it's got to be close to 100. I think, that's my guess. I don't know, maybe 50 bits and pieces. But, yeah, it was a game changer for me, man. Back, I forget when that came out. Was it late 90s, early 200, maybe maybe 2003, maybe something like that. It was a game changer for me, and it was interesting. Man, it was the perfect timing for me. My level of awareness was rising at a level where this stuff started to make sense, and I started to really accept it. I think if I would have been introduced to it years back, I wasn't ready for it. And as they say, the universe always is perfect timing, right? Besides meeting you, The Secret was one of the greatest things I ever seen. Yeah, man. First of all, thank you, Joe. Second of all, don't stop watching it, because you're going to keep getting new information out of it, because you're going to keep raising your level of awareness. They didn't put more information in it, but you're going to keep doing that. You got to send me, instant message me your address, Joe. I got to send you the As a Man Thinketh. One of the guys from The Secret lives in Dripping Springs, Texas. Which one is it, Tracy? Do you know? Because I was actually at a mastermind with James Ray from The Secret, and I spent a week down in Florida with Bob Proctor because of The Secret. And Mark Victor Hansen, one of the greatest speakers of all time. Oh, I got to remember his name. I drew a blank. But we were down in Florida for a week. I learned more about the mind from Bob Proctor than anybody in this world. Abraham Hicks, man, that's Abigail, right on the money. That is, I was just watching some of those YouTubes about 4 months ago, and I got introduced to Abraham Hicks from my first spiritual counselor. I say spiritual, she was our marriage counselor. She introduced me to Abraham Hicks way back when. But you know what's interesting, Abigail? I've been talking about level of awareness. When she introduced me to Abraham Hicks, I wasn't ready. I thought it was craziness. I just wasn't ready. My level of awareness wasn't built up to that point. Now, I listen to Abraham Hicks, and it's just amazing to me. But it's interesting how you grow if you're willing. But yeah, Joe West, if you got any aha moments from The Secret, let us know, man. Share it with us. Yes, it's levels to it, no question about it, and it's absolutely not for everybody, for sure. But man, when you can dial into that, it's some of the best content you'll ever get in personal development. Really pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, really amazing stuff. Now I'm going to go watch some other YouTubes when we get off. Have you all read the 2 different follow-ups to The Secret? Yeah, what was the Bob Proctor had something come out, but I didn't connect to him like I did the original Secret for some reason. I don't know why. But the original The Secret, the DVD, man, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I could still watch it and keep getting new stuff. Oh, vision boards, absolutely, 100%. And affirmations, right? Affirmations. I was talking about this yesterday on the interview with Manny, the game changer, right? What you tell yourself on a consistent basis. And the vision boards, 100%. Absolutely. I have a picture of a tour bus with Monster Motivator TV logo wrapped around it. It's in my truck. It's in my bathroom mirror, and it's on my nightstand in my bedroom. Because that is the ultimate goal to this. Monster Motivator TV Mania Tour, come to a town near you. We want to take this thing nationwide and share those Rocky stories. I just get so passionate about it, Tracy. I do. It gets my juices flowing. And I learned all that from Dr. Shad Helmstetter, what to say when you talk to yourself. He took my affirmations and shared with me and taught me things that took it to a whole nother level. And yeah, that's just the real. That's the real. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's powerful stuff, man, and it's awesome. I have the affirmation about the COO, and I know I'm going to redo it. Man, I feel like I'm right there. I feel like that person is just getting closer and closer and closer, and when that happens, it is game over. Love the affirmations and mirror work. Yeah, absolutely. And Shamika, if you get a chance, check out that book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. He teaches you how to put the affirmations in your own voice on a recorder, or, that was old school, on your phone. And I listen to my affirmations throughout the day when I'm at the gym. And the real powerful ones I share with people that I connect with. Tracy has one of my affirmations, or I'm going to redo it and make it even more clear, give it even more clarity. But Tracy will tell you that brings it to you fast and quick. I've learned so much from you just from the one affirmation. Yeah, you know, you got to get that book though, Tracy. You got to get that book. It's friggin' awesome. And let me share a story in that book that put me over the top. I became an ultimate follower of Dr. Shad Helmstetter from this story, from the book. I shared it on the interview yesterday, so if you guys heard me talk about it, you're gonna hear me repeat it. So, the book was written back in the 80s, early 80s. It's a little paperback book, and when you look at the book from the outside, it looks like there's nothing to it. But it's a very powerful, game-changing book. So this story that he talked about was back in the 80s. So anybody here doesn't remember, it was cassette recordings. I know me and Tracy remember the cassette recordings. So he put an affirmation down, and he worded it correctly, and he wanted to lose 60 pounds in 90 days. And he put it on his cassette recording, listened to it every morning before him and his wife went to work, every day at his office somewhere during the day, and then every night before him and his wife went to bed. Every single night, every morning for 90 days. 90 days came up, he hit the goal, he hit the 60 pounds. But here's what's really powerful. We talked about the mindset, conscious, subconscious, and the body. His wife never went on a diet and lost over 20 pounds. That's how powerful affirmations are when they're done correctly. That's how powerful our subconscious mind is. That's why our subconscious mind becomes our conditioning, becomes our identity. That's why it's so vitally important. The greatest gift you could give any child is a powerful, positive, bulletproof self-image. How do you do that? By feeding that subconscious powerful, positive stuff. It's that simple. Big Joe, what did he say? What's his takeaway? I believe in yourself. You deserve it, along with the positiveness of the energy of the universe. 2, focus on the now, 200 feet, and allow the road to take its course. 3, don't allow your emotions to control. You know, I want to touch on number 2, Joe. You know, I was taught this a long time ago as well, and all different people take credit for this statement, and I think it was the first one I heard take credit for it was Martin Luther King, so I'm going to give it to him. I know Jack Canfield had his name on it for a while too, but you don't need to see the whole staircase. You only need to see the next step. Here's the other thing. If you see the whole staircase from the beginning, it's not big enough. Stop what you're doing. Go back and find something that scares you and excites you at the same time. If you can see the whole staircase from the beginning, it's not big enough. So that's a great takeaway on that, man. And again, your emotions, right? Don't let it control you. Awesome. That's my... I'm a passionate, emotional person, so that's something that I work on a daily basis. So that's a great takeaway, dude. Love it. Who else we got here? Great takeaways, absolutely. I want to do my own affirmation cards, but just haven't figured out how to go. All right, I'm going to post on here the book when we jump off. But take from putting your affirmations on a card to recording them in your own voice and listening to them on your phone throughout the day. It's going to take it to a whole nother level. But here's the key. Tracy's going to back me on this. You got to come from here. You got to come from here. You got to come from that core, right? You got to come from the inside. You got to get those juices flowing when you record this. So every time you listen to it, it just makes you want to run through a fucking brick wall. Right? When I shared this with Tracy, her response was, and I'm paraphrasing here, so I might jack it up, but her response was, holy shit, I feel so empowered. Right? She can actually expand on that and give you her take on when she listened to my affirmation. But you gotta, Shamika, you gotta come from here. You gotta come from the heart. That's why the 7 levels deep for your why is so important. Because when you go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, go from here to here. 7 levels deep is going to get you to your ultimate why. Because it goes from here to here. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. They were great takeaways, dude. And again, I love number 2 because it's so friggin' true. And make others, makes it so real and make others do the same. Absolutely, man. And here's the other cool thing. As you start moving towards that goal, towards that destination, you're raising your vibration, you're raising your level of awareness, and now you let the universe do all the heavy lifting. So that means as you start to raise your level of awareness, as you start to raise your vibration, any of that toxic energy that's been around you falls away because they don't connect. But it's not your job to worry about that. It's only your job to keep moving up and let everyone else either move up with you or fall away. Let the universe do the heavy lifting. Yeah, and that's what we talked about that yesterday. I think too many people get caught up in trying to control their environment and change their environment and dictate their environment. Look, environment is everything. But the only way you're going to do that on a consistent basis is to change you, build you, grow you. Then the people that can't connect with you, that can't align with you, fall away. Or, better yet, you show them the path and they move up with you. But either way, I learned a long time ago and I was taught a long time ago, it's not your job. It's not your job to decide that, whether they come up with you or not. They got to decide that. It's their journey. You focus on your journey. I love it. Focus on you, and your world and the universe will handle let them handle the heavy lifting. Tracy, Shamika, give us your takeaways from tonight. Give us a powerful takeaway and a new perspective if you grabbed one, if you found one from this show, from this Monster Motivator TV. If you guys have one, if you don't, it's okay too. No big deal. But if you do, share it with us and just let us know either way. Big Joe, thank you for always taking us behind that black curtain, man. That's courageous. Love it, brother. I love it. And I can't wait to see your transformation, man. It's gonna be epic. Hop, what's up, big man? Hop, we were just talking. If you can hear me and you're still on, we were just talking about this earlier. Tracy, I want to introduce you to Tracy. Tracy's on here. Say hello. And Tracy and I met not long ago, a few weeks ago, and it was just instant. It was that unwritten word that you just know. And that's the exact thing that happened with me and Hop. What a great dude, man. And I've only known him a few days, and I just know. We just connect. We connected like that, and I'm really looking forward to doing serious business with you, big man. I'm pumped. Your favorite show's on. Thank you, my brother. And we're going to get you on this show, man. I'm going to come down to Oklahoma. We're going to get you on this show. We're going to bring him behind that black curtain, and we're going to pull out those golden nuggets because I know you got a ton of golden nuggets. Tracy, you won't always click with everyone, but it is magic when you find those who do click with you. Absolutely, 100%. You know, more so when you attract them, right? When you keep raising that level of awareness, that vibration, they just come on. It's like a magnet, right? And then it's the opposite of those toxic people that you used to connect with because you're raising that level of vibration. It's awesome, man. And when the universe does the heavy lifting, it was taught to me a while back, years ago, you're in a stream and you're in a canoe and you're doing one of two things in life. You're either paddling upstream and trying to get there and trying to make it happen and just paddling like crazy. You might get a little bit, but then that current keeps pulling you down. But you keep trying, right? Or you figure out how to let the universe do the heavy lifting, stay in alignment with yourself, stay true to yourself, keep growing, and then all of a sudden that canoe turns, and now the tide's taking you, right? And you're going downstream. And when you're going downstream, you don't even have to have a paddle in the water. It becomes effortless. And when you're in alignment, that's when you know. When you feel that effortless feeling, you know you're in alignment. You know those days, those moments when you feel like you're floating? It's because you're in alignment with your source. You're in alignment with the universe. You're in alignment with your energy. The key is how do you get there more times than not? Pam, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys, if you're getting anything out of this, man, please share it. This is why we're here. I started following Dave 2 weeks before Joe Nicolosi met Dave in person at the Meltdown. I met Joe at the 10X Growth Con, and we just clicked. Same with Dave and Joe. And you're going to do the same thing with Hop, man. Great dude. And Hop, she's a Texas girl. So you guys are neighbors. Tracy, reach out to him. He's a great dude. And he's a pit bull lover. That's even better. And we got a lot in common, man. We figured it out. 6 generations in Texas. That a girl. You could take the girl out of the neighborhood, but you can't take the neighborhood out of the girl. That's how I feel about being from Jersey. Same thing. But guys, I want to, again, thank you so much for taking the time. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Take away the importance of sharing your story. I love that. That's an awesome takeaway. Wear those scars with pride, right? Share those stories because it's your obligation. Because Shamika, you were bad enough to make it through the other side. Yeah. Now it's your obligation. And that's why we're going to get you on Monster Motivator TV. My takeaways from tonight's show. This is just the beginning of epic shit. 100%, my man. This is the journey. Like-minded people are in alignment. 100%. It's a magnet. Dave Daley is the next Tony Robbins. There you go. You know what, man? Dave Daley's the next Dave Daley, man. And that's what it is. Everyone's got their own flavor. And that's why I said, man, when people connect with me, whether it's a live event, whether it's live TV here, or email, or video, or social media, I don't care what it is. Like me, love me, hate me, think I'm stupid, think I'm smart, think I'm this, think I'm that. I promise you, you will leave there saying he's real. And that's all I care about. You're going to leave there saying he's real. Tiffany, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much for jumping on. We've been going over a lot of stuff, the mindset, the conscious, subconscious, the body, how the body and the mind work hand in hand. Pam, thank you so much. If you're still on, thank you so much. Hop, as I said earlier, thank you so much for jumping on, taking the time. He's a busy man. Oh, awesome. Yeah, and you know what, Tiffany? If you do get some value out of it, just share it to your people. Would love it. Thank you so much. And yeah, you're right, Trace. Joe West, epic shit, 2017, coming in 2018. Guys, we're halfway through the year. We're halfway through the year. Have you done what you said you're going to do? Are you doing what you wanted to do coming in to 2017? We're halfway through. Here's the bottom line, right? Your results don't lie. Your reality doesn't lie. And if you're not happy with it, go back to the top and reevaluate. We're halfway through the year. It's time to audit. Where are you at? What have you done? Because guess what? January through June of 2017 is in the books. You can never, ever get that back. If you haven't done what you said you're going to do, if you're not moving in the direction you said you were going to move, you owe it to yourself to figure that out before that year's up. Where's Tua, man? He's at home. He's chilling. We're at the Roar Zone. We're at the studio. He's chilling. Yeah, we're definitely gonna bring him on MMTV. When it gets a little bit cooler out here, I'll bring him. I'll throw him in the truck. We'll bring him over. He's been on a few podcasts with me when I do it from my house. I want to support all those that are. When is that next ribeye steak dinner, man? Hey, you know what? Check this out. So I reached out to the guy, I think he was the COO of 1-800-GOT-JUNKIES in Arizona. He wants to talk about doing something in September. So once we can land that, I'll be back out in your neck of the woods, big man. So this time the ribeye's on me. So yeah, definitely. And hats will be done, I think, in about a week or so, and shirts will be next, and products coming out. So I'm pumped, man. We're moving. we're moving. And when I go back and I audit my year so far, it might not be happening as quick as I want it, but I'm definitely hitting those points that I said I was going to hit, actually, and then some. But that entrepreneurial DNA, it never happens quick enough. And that's, I think, Joe, if I'm going to keep it real, between keeping my emotions in check, because I'm a passionate guy, and learning to live with patience, that's my struggle, man. That's the tough thing for me, because I want everything yesterday, and I'm a passionate, emotional person, and I wear everything on my sleeve. So I get it. In that context, what you said, you're absolutely right. Don't let your emotions control you. But man, I'm a passionate person. I wouldn't want it any other way. But I get what you're saying in that context, man. Yeah, lack of patience. Yeah, it's it. I'd be full of shit if I told you I had patience. I don't. I just don't. And but I work on it. It's a work in progress. So, but I'll tell you one thing. I'd rather have that than be somebody that sits around and complains and is lazy and becomes a victim. So if the universe is giving me an option all day long, man, no patience and emotional person, I'll take that all day long than what the polar opposite option is. But no, it's all about figuring out how to be a better person all the way around. And what Joe said in that context, he's absolutely 100% right. Passion and emotions are great, just done in the right way. 100%, man. Knuckle that up. 100%. Couldn't have been said any better. At 50, it's hard to be patient. Yeah, listen, I haven't had patience from day one. So I was in an orphanage from the time I was born to 18 months, and I probably had no patience then either. I was probably looking out the window going, oh, what's going on? I don't know he's adopted me yet. I don't know. That would be my guess. So listen, that's just part of our DNA, girl. That's just who we are. And but I know you well enough already. You wouldn't want it any other way, or I should say, you wouldn't want the polar opposite of that either. So if we have to take the two evils of two, I'll take the lack of patience and the emotional over the polar opposite, man. All day long, as always, man. That's right, Trace. I know. I get you, girl. I feel you. Yeah, we're doing some epic shit coming up into 2018. We're finishing out 2017 strong as shit. And we're going to be making some epic shit happen. And I'm pumped. And I'm so pumped with some of the people that have been coming in to make this unfold and make this happen. You know what that tells me? I'm in alignment. That just tells me I'm on the right path. And that's what you have to think about, right? When those people start to come into your life and it feels right, and it's helping you unfold things that you wanted to unfold, that means the universe is telling you you're in alignment, you're moving the right path. If you start to see people that are toxic, that you don't want to necessarily be around, but you find them in your life, you got to look inside. That means the universe is telling you you're out of alignment. You're not listening to that inner GPS. So you got to own it. Headed to the gym, some iron therapy. That a girl, love it. Guys, thanks so much for jumping on. As always, we're going to end this show, even though I'm by myself here in the roar zone. You guys are here on 3. We're going to end this Monster Motivator style, baby. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Thank you, guys.